Hello everyone. So yes, let me start the services again. So this is a front-end server that I'm running right now, and this is a backend service that will be running. Now, as you can see that in the PPT also we had mentioned there are different services, different layers. So you can see that all of the layers has been initialized one by one. The TF-Lite perception module, and then we have the reactive safety layer, and then we have loaded the RM module as well. So the backend is ready, and let me show you the digital layer. Right, so it has loaded, and now this is a rover. This is a rover that has been placed on the tank, and we have tried to simulate the moon environment in a 3D encapsulated environment using several libraries such as 3Js and different physics engines as well. So here you can see that I'm moving the rover using the WASD keys, and this is manual, right? Well, turns out that this is not the entire project. We have the autonomous system in place as well. So when I press Q, we are gonna activate the autonomous system, and the services that I'm running here, I can just show you in a second that all of this is gonna work together, and that is gonna help the rover simulate and try to learn and adapt to its environment, and it tries to avoid the hazards and make sure that it is moving around by itself in this environment, simulated environment, in real time, by avoiding all of the hazards and craters, and making sure that it is covering as much as area as possible in the most optimized way. So I'll press Q now. Now you can see that on the top left we have the heat map generation for the images that has been taken by the rover. So we have placed a camera over the rover. On the top left you can see that the real time view of the rover. So suppose that if I move the rover around, you can see that we can see on the top left the camera view of the rover itself. So you can just see that we can see what the rover is seeing, and when I press Q, right, it is capturing the images from its camera. It is sending back that to the CNN, to our backend via base64 to the CNN, and then it is trying to avoid all of the hazards and make sure that it is detecting the hazards, and then it is going through the RL agent, trying to figure out where it has to steer. So as you can see that it is trying to avoid the hazards. So this is like the best scenario that it tries to see, and it's trying to avoid all of the, so yes, you can clearly see that it's trying to avoid all of the hazards and craters and everything. So this is I have chose this area in specific because there are a lot of area that doesn't have a proper base elevation. It has a lot of height discrepancies. So yeah, this is how it's working right now. And in the top left, as you can see that we have the heat map generation. That is mainly for the purpose of for trying to figure out where exactly the hazard is, so that the rover understands, and then the RL learns from that. Since it has been trained on several episodes, it learns from that and adapts it to this real-time environment. So this is how it's working, and tries to make sure that it is going on the surface that is the most optimal path. So yes, this is how it's working, and the top and the bottom right you can see that the API requests are being made, and it is not few milliseconds or anything static like that. We are making the API calls based on the hazard level. So if the service is too clear, we don't have to make too many calls, but if it is in an environment where there has to be made calculations for the rover, then we try to process as much as we can and make sure that the rover is avoiding any of the hazardous surface. So yes, this is how it is, and let me show you the model. So one second. Yeah, so this is how our model looks like. We have made tons of modifications. We have added camera modules to this, which we have used in our program to control and make use of it. So everything that you have seen in the application right now, we have modified it individually and made sure that we have the model ready in such a way that we could program it and make it work with the backend integration. So this is how it's working, and yeah, that's the core idea of application.